There's a sensation in playing the Reactor video game that people really get into. Good luck. Suddenly you're bombarded by atomic particles. You bounce them against the reactor's control wall. And as the reactor core expands, you face heavier particles. And new dangers culminating in the dreaded vortex.
Your turn.
Reactor from Parker Brothers, the ones to beat.
Yes, welcome to my review of Reactor for Atari 2600. And it is a very Atari game, and I mean that in the very best possible way. However, I learned not too long ago that it's not all original Atari like I originally thought. As this was a game from Gottlieb in the arcade, and this right here is the arcade original version. And to be honest, I'm a little disappointed to learn that it's not an Atari 2600 original, because I really thought that was the case. And you know I love my Atari, just like I love you all in Atari and beyond. Well, we've got Atari 2600 Reactor, made by that awesome company, Parker Brothers. But I'll tell you, when it comes to telling you exactly what this game is about, it kind of reminds me when I'm trying to explain. I just saw Mission Impossible. People say, "Did you like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I liked it a lot." They're like, "What's it about?" And I'm like, kind of like this.
And a string of,
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what it's about, honestly. Now, in G.I. Joe number 10 and many comic books from this time period, you could find the ad for Reactor in the comic book. And I was always intrigued, man. This is one of those games I got later, and that's what's cool about Atari. Games are not that expensive. You can pick up games later that you missed from before. Let's see if they can give us any clairvoyance here. It's one home video game you can really get into. Inside Reactor, you fry neutrinos, bounce positive clusters, knock out control rods, shrink the reactor core, drop decoys, load the bonus chambers, but most of all, avoid the dreaded vortex. It's one game that demands everything you've got, and it gets it. Reactor, Parker Brothers' version of the intense arcade game. Oh! I guess as a kid I should have read that. But do you ever read that? As a matter of fact, I got the instructions for this game. So, I got the instructions for them, and I'm trying to explain it to you and make a video. Why don't I just take a 10-foot walk over there and read the manual? Well, I don't know. My explanation to that is not much. Why don't I just get the manual? Guys are like, Paul, why don't you get the manual?
You want to say anything else?
Paul, why don't you get the manual? No. No.
Let's go back to...
Go ahead, John.
Exactly. People are like, Paul, why don't you just get the manual? No, nope, I can't. Anyway, that's a lot of talk. But you know the game. And I do like Reactor for Atari 2600. But what the hell is going on? I don't know. Let's try to make it simple. Let's make it real simple. You try to knock these orange guys, which are orange at the moment, into the wall. And that's how you kill them. You get knocked into the wall, well, by God, you get killed. And that's pretty much makes the game simpler. But these little prongs here on the side, they matter, because this thing's always growing bigger and giving you less space to operate, because it'll touch you and kill you. You knock out 4 of these prongs on each side, and this thing shrinks back down. And so, as long as you're trying to kill these little orange guys and knock them into things, you best knock them into these prongs, as like that. And you just kind of try to lure them in. Speaking of luring them in, you can drop a decoy. See that square? That makes them kind of hang out near that. And if you can, try to push them into that room right there. You see that? Because every little bounce that these guys do in that room, when you die later, equates to bonus points. Watch. I died. Those bonus points are based on all those little guys I made bounce in that little room. You get it? So that's pretty interesting. I mean, this game is really hard to figure out, but I can tell you that it has to do with some kind of reactor, and when things get too intense, it's all about the gigawatts.
To generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts! Great Scott! What the hell is a gigawatt?
Yeah, man. What the hell is a gigawatt?
Did you plan to watch the game today?
I don't know. I can't tell you. But I do know that I like Reactor. It's very Atari. And if a game is very Atari, well, I'm happy. So remember, bounce the bad guys into the wall. Don't let yourself get bounced into the wall. Bounce these guys into these prongs to shrink this thing that's making your space smaller. And if you can, on top of that, leave a decoy near the opening of the rooms. Get these guys in there. Let them bounce around, because the more they bounce around after you die, it adds up to bonus points. I actually like Reactor a lot, and you get a bonus at 10,000 points, and that is always a key point of video games. Now, don't worry about reviews. I know I haven't made one in a long time, but I got some great ideas, like I think I got an idea, just like, oh well, you know what I mean. Hey you guys, thanks for sticking with me in Atari and beyond. I'm starting to feel some better ideas for more reviews, and you'll get them.
Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to you? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Yes, I'd like to say goodbye to all you, and I love you. Take care.